used to our kids to be my son's, you know, one of his biggest things ever. So she called me up and we started talking about coming, and she was so committed on getting me here. She's like, it's gotta be this day, you have to be here. If you don't come, I got 4 sisters, and the last thing I want to do is make my sisters mad. So I understand the wrath of a Roman. So, but you know, just a pleasure to come and be part of this great community. And growing up in Star Valley, you know, it's just funny to see wrestling. People are like, oh, you're a Olympic gold medalist. You know what? I'm a state champion. I'm just a boy from Wyoming. It's all about just going out and working hard and just following your dream. Never giving up on yourself, and that's what the sport of wrestling does. Thank you, and God bless you guys and enjoy wrestling. This is what it's about, is watching it, go out, kick it light, and have fun.
So, how was it growing up in Wyoming?
Growing up in Wyoming was interesting. It was hard. I grew up on a dairy farm, so for me, I had 9 brothers and sisters, and there was never-ending chores. So my summer was just kind of one bad long day, because you wake up, you go work all day, and you go in and go to bed, and you wake up and you work all day. So for me, summer was tough, but I enjoyed it because, you know, it was an opportunity to be out in nature and change pipe and haul hay, and it taught me a lot of responsibility. And when I went to college, you know, college was easy compared to growing up and, you know, working on a farm. And then ultimately the Olympics was kind of easy compared to being a farmer. And people are like, oh, you wrestlers and you work so hard. I'm like, not really compared to being a farmer, because you work all day long and you really don't truly see that much significant work done on a wrestling match. You can go win an Olympic gold medal. And my dad said, oh, I farmed my whole life and, you know, I never really got anything done, and you went out and wrestled for 9 minutes and you won the Olympics. And so it just kind of makes you think about perspective.
Oh, I have a quick question before she does anything. You're the youngest of 9, and how is that? Because I'm the youngest and I know how you feel, so I can probably come from your perspective.
Well, my brothers and sisters thought I was the spoiled one, but my parents' philosophy was... Oh yeah, my parents' philosophy was the later you stayed out, the earlier you got up. And so for me, I didn't party, I didn't go out, I didn't have a lot of friends because I had chores that had to be done in the morning. And so for me, it was just work, and I learned how to work, and you know, I just appreciated it. And then I still, you know, kind of despise it a little bit, but you know what, my family really asked a lot of us all, and we all stepped up and did our best.
That's awesome.
How many times, like, would you say in your mind, did you ever think about giving up and just quitting?
You know, how many times did I ever think about quitting on myself and just kind of giving up? I think it's almost a daily battle, because you're going, oh, I can't do this, or this is so challenging, it's too tough. And what do? You just get up and you just keep pushing forward, because, you know, great things come from great efforts. And my life, you know, has always been, you know, a lot of discipline and a lot of devotion. And you just got to get up and just keep doing your best every day, no matter what life gives you.
Yeah. So when you found out that you were going on the Olympic team, what was your first feeling? Like, how were you feeling to be passed?
When I found out, you know, I was going on the Olympic team, I actually had to win the match at the Olympic trials, and I beat an Olympic and world silver medalist, Matt Kafari. And so going to the Olympic team, you know, we got one of our Olympic warm-ups right there, and my first thought was, that's it. This is it. I get to run the Olympic warm-up in the United States. This is part of my journey, and this is part of all the hard work. And I was ecstatic. I was excited. I also realized great responsibility comes great opportunity.
Are you married, and if so, do you have kids?
I am married, no kids yet. My wife says I got to grow up myself first.
How is it when you come to schools like this and you talk to children and you see their faces, or you have the feeling that they're learning something from what you're saying?
I think this is probably one of the biggest gifts or biggest skills I could give anybody, is just the opportunity to believe in yourself and say, you know what, if I can do it, he can do it. And, you know, looking out and realizing that once you go beyond the city limits of Lyman, Wyoming, there's so much more world out there. You just have to be willing to go experience it. You have to be willing to go and, you know, learn from, you know, your past and learn from your future, and just appreciate the opportunity to see what the world has to offer. And then ultimately, someday, probably coming back to Lyman being like, it's a great world, but there's no place like home.
Oh yeah.
So, in the earlier today, you said that you visited how many different countries?
44 countries.
And what was one of the best countries that you visited that was just people and like they were so nice and generous?
Probably, you know, Australia. I loved Australia. Naturally, it happened because That's where I won the Olympics in Sydney, Australia 2000. But probably one of my other favorites was Poland. And I've been to Poland, I think, 8 times. I love the Polish people, great people, all the way from, Gdansk, all the way to Zakopane, to, Siedlce, to Poznan, to Wrocław, and been all over, Poland, and just the people were just fantastic. They didn't speak the same language as me, but they understood, they respected, and, you always gave each other the respect, and dziękuję.
I was going to say, have you ever been to Ohio?
Ohio, I've been there many times.
I was going to say, because that's just amazing for me, because it's where my sister's going on her mission. And so.
My brother went to Australia for down under sports for football. He said it was amazing.
I went to New Zealand down under the first year they did it back in 1990. We went to New Zealand, actually 1989. We went to New Zealand and we played Arizona's team and they kicked our butts. That's another story.
All right, I've got a question.
I got an answer.
What is your favorite food?
What is my favorite food? Food is my favorite food. As you can tell, I have what they call a little bit of an eating problem. I eat bear claws and they get stuck right about here. So, no, I like food. I like meat and potatoes. I like pastas. I like pizza. I like everything in life. I love hamburgers. I was in Salt Lake yesterday. I had In-N-Out burgers, so that was pretty good.
Oh, yum. I love it.
So I think we'll about wrap up here. Maybe 2 more
Kelsey,
questions.
did you have a question?
He did, and I might have one.
What would you say to all younger wrestlers out there? Like, what's a tip for them?
Go out, experiment, try things. If you get thrown on your head, don't do that again. And ultimately, a good wrestler has to learn by experimentation, because if you go out and try something and it doesn't work, try it again until it does work and find a way to succeed. With my body, I wrestle a complete different way than anybody else, and so you have to be willing to explore and to give yourself an opportunity to succeed no matter what life gives you. Enjoy the experience, do your best, and hopefully someday you can win a national title and maybe someday get to the Olympic Games and win a medal.
So,
what's your favorite wrestling move?
My favorite wrestling move, probably overall, is an arm drag. Because it's so easy, when anybody goes to touch you, I can arm drag you, take you down, throw you, put you on your head. There's so many different options of finishing an arm drag. I love underhooks, but probably my favorite is an arm drag, just because it's so explosive and it's so, I think, just superior in Greco-Roman wrestling.
Yeah.
What's your favorite sport besides wrestling?
Favorite sport besides wrestling? Probably, it's not really a sport, probably snowmobiling or skiing. That's more of a recreation.
That's the South.
Probably sports. I like basketball. I do like football. Even though, I'm a wrestler and you shouldn't be playing basketball. I love to shoot. I love to actually play and have fun.
So how old were you when you started wrestling?
I was 5 years old when I actually wrestled the first time with my brother. And wrestling for me and my brother is first wrestler to go out there and fall down. The other one was, ultimately the guy that won the match. And so for me, wrestling wasn't a good skill until I got into junior high, into high school, and then ultimately college.
All right. My final question for you is, what are the 7 steps of success?
First, the 7 steps to overcoming obstacles first is to go back to the basics. Each one of us have basic characteristics of who we are, what we are, and where we come from, how those influence our lives and our decisions to be successful. Step 2 is to turn a negative into a positive, how you handle negativity, how do you handle people's negatives. And then step 3 is to enlist other people. Go out there, ask other people for support, family, friends, people around you, not just the people who support you, your enemies. Step 4 is to go out and train hard every day. Commit 100%, dedicate yourself, push yourself to make the Olympic team like I did, graduate from college like I did, graduate from high school like I did, and then ultimately go out and then step 5 is take care of business. Once you're given the opportunity to push yourself, believe in yourself, give 100%, go out there and take care of business every day in life, no matter what the circumstance are. Do your best. Step 6 is to aim high when you're feeling low. When you succeed and then when you fail again, get back up. Just because you succeeded and you failed doesn't mean you sit down and stop trying. It means you got to get back up and prove yourself again. And then step 7 is don't rest on your laurels. After success, after victory, don't stop just because you succeeded. Find another challenge and achieve your challenge and do your best.
All right.
thank you for doing this
Yes,
with us.
thank you.
It's a great honor.
Rock and roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great honor to meet you.
It is.
It's amazing.
The only successful person to ever come out of Wyoming.
Right?
Oh, there's
Yeah.
plenty of successful guys, and there's going to be you successful in the future. Good luck. Go get them.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.